Ever noticed your grocery bill creeping up, even when you swear you're sticking to your usual list? Maybe you found yourself double-checking the receipt, wondering if you accidentally grabbed a few extra items, or if the cashier made a mistake. But the truth is, you're not alone. Shoppers everywhere are feeling the pinch, even when they're just buying the basics: bread, milk, eggs, and a few household staples. You're not imagining things. Prices are rising everywhere, from the essentials like milk and bread to electronics and cleaning supplies. It's a trend that's hard to ignore, especially when your total at checkout keeps climbing. It's not just bad luck or greedy stores. There's a bigger force at play here, quietly working behind the scenes. The real culprit? Tariffs. Tariffs are government-imposed taxes on imported goods, and they're quietly inflating your everyday expenses. These taxes are added before products even hit the shelves, so by the time you see them, the price has already gone up. The new tariffs rolled out this year are meant to protect American industries, but they're showing up as higher prices at the checkout. That means you're paying more, even if you haven't changed your shopping habits. Nearly everything you buy is affected, since so many products are made or assembled overseas. From your favorite snacks to electronics, clothing, and even cleaning products, tariffs touch almost every aisle. These tariffs are a direct result of policy decisions in Washington, D.C., and the costs trickle down to you. Lawmakers may debate the benefits, but for families the impact is immediate and real. So when your grocery haul suddenly costs more, it's not a glitch. It's the result of a chain reaction that starts with a government policy and ends at your wallet. It's the new economic reality. Many families are now forced to make tough choices, buying less or switching to cheaper brands just to make ends meet. The government has put a new tax on a huge portion of imports, and that cost lands squarely on your shoulders. It's not just a line on your receipt, it's a shift in how much your paycheck can buy. Your pricier shopping cart isn't an accident, it's a feature of a new economic strategy. Every trip to the store is a reminder of how global decisions affect your daily life. We're all living in the middle of this costly experiment, adjusting our habits and budgets as we go, and hoping for relief at the checkout someday soon. Let's break it down. Tariffs are a word you hear a lot in the news. But what do they really mean for you and me? At its core, a tariff is simply a tax that governments place on goods coming into the country from abroad. It's like a toll at the border, paid before those products can hit store shelves. For example, if a company in China wants to sell washing machines in the US, the American government charges a fee at the border. This fee is added to the cost of the product before it even reaches the store. Importers, the companies bringing in these goods, are the ones who pay the tariff up front, but they don't just absorb that cost. Instead, they pass it along the supply chain, which means by the time you're shopping for a new appliance, the price tag is higher. So, why do governments use tariffs in the first place? The reasons are both economic and political. The official explanation is protectionism. By making foreign goods more expensive, tariffs encourage people to buy products made at home. This is supposed to help local businesses and keep jobs in the country. The hope is that American factories will stay busy and workers will keep their jobs, since domestic products become more competitive compared to imports. But the story doesn't end there. Tariffs are also powerful tools in international negotiations. Countries use them as leverage in trade disputes, especially with major trading partners like China, to push for changes in trade policies or to address unfair practices. In recent years, the US has imposed tariffs as high as 45% on some Chinese goods, hoping to pressure China to change its approach to trade, intellectual property, and market access. But here's the catch. While politicians talk about protecting jobs and industries, the immediate effect is often higher prices for everyone, from families shopping for groceries to businesses buying equipment. The importer pays the government, but ultimately, it's you, the consumer, who ends up footing the bill, often without even realizing it. Tariffs become hidden costs, quietly baked into the price of everything from kitchen appliances to the latest sneakers, and even everyday essentials. So, while the debate over tariffs rages in Washington and on the news, the real impact is felt every day at your local store, in your shopping cart, and on your monthly budget. Tariffs might sound like an abstract policy, but their effects are real, immediate, and personal, touching nearly every purchase you make. Let's follow the money on a typical product, a refrigerator. It's a journey that starts thousands of miles away, in a bustling Chinese factory, where workers assemble the appliances that will eventually end up in American homes. These factories operate at massive scale, churning out products that are shipped across oceans to fill the shelves of stores like Walmart. Before tariffs, Walmart might import a fridge for $500 and sell it for $800. That $300 markup covers shipping, store costs, and a profit margin. For years, this system kept prices relatively stable for American shoppers. But with a new 25% tariff, that same fridge now costs Walmart $625 just to get it through the door. That's a huge jump in cost for a single item, and it adds up quickly when you're talking about thousands of units. Walmart faces a choice: absorb the extra cost and shrink their profits, or pass it on to you, the customer. Guess which they pick? Most big retailers choose to raise prices, protecting their bottom line. That $800 fridge now costs $925 or more. Suddenly, a major household purchase just got a lot more expensive, and families have to stretch their budgets even further. And it's not just refrigerators. Tariffs hit everything from smartphones and laptops to sneakers and toys. Everyday essentials and little luxuries alike are affected, making shopping trips more stressful for everyone. Even if inflation looks calm on the surface, businesses are warning that higher costs are coming. Many are already feeling the squeeze, and they're preparing to adjust their prices. A 10% tariff can turn a $400 shopping cart into $440 for the same items. That's a noticeable difference, especially for families who are already watching every dollar. For families on tight budgets, that extra $40 matters. It could mean cutting back on groceries, skipping a family outing, or putting off a needed purchase. Small shops, unlike big chains, can't absorb these costs and have to raise prices even faster. Many local businesses operate on razor-thin margins, so even a small increase in costs can be a big deal. Ironically, tariffs meant to help American businesses can end up hurting the little guys most. Some small shops are forced to close, unable to compete with larger retailers or keep up with rising expenses. The result? A stealth tax that hits working families hardest. It's an invisible cost that shows up in higher prices at the register, quietly eating away at paychecks. The price hikes are real, and they're just getting started. As tariffs ripple through the economy, more families and small businesses will feel the pinch in the months ahead. For years, companies built global supply chains to get the best parts at the lowest prices. Tariffs have thrown a wrench into this system, forcing businesses to scramble for new suppliers. Switching suppliers isn't easy. It's expensive, slow, and risky. Companies are moving production to avoid tariffs, but building new relationships in factories takes years and billions of dollars. These costs get passed down to you, the consumer. The threat of even higher tariffs creates uncertainty, making it hard for businesses to plan or invest. This uncertainty can slow hiring, stall growth, and hurt the economy. Instead of stability, businesses are navigating a minefield of unpredictable policy changes. The end result? More costs, more confusion, and higher prices for everyone. While US prices climb, Canadians aren't feeling the same pinch. Canada has avoided the tariff war, keeping prices for imported goods stable. Americans near the border are now driving to Canada for deals on electronics, clothes, and more. Canadian stores are seeing a surge in US shoppers, thanks to lower prices. It's a real-world experiment. Tariffs raise prices here, but not across the border. Canada's open trade policy keeps costs down for its citizens. Most Americans can't just hop over the border though, they're stuck with higher prices at home. The Canadian example shows that trade policy choices have real, immediate consequences. Big corporations can weather tariff storms, but small businesses feel the pain first. Local shops, restaurants, and contractors can't absorb sudden cost hikes. They have to raise prices or risk going under. Many are forced to pass costs to customers, making them less competitive against big chains. Higher costs mean delayed expansion, fewer hires, and sometimes layoffs. Even sectors tariffs were meant to protect, like manufacturing and agriculture, are getting squeezed by higher costs and foreign retaliation. The result? Slower growth, rising prices, and a risk of recession. The policy meant to protect jobs could end up costing them. So, what can you do as prices rise? Plan big purchases ahead. Waiting could mean paying more later. Get creative with your budget comparison shop, hunt for sales, and consider store brands or refurbished items. Prioritize essentials and cut back on non-essentials to free up cash. Understand that tariffs are a policy choice with real effects on your wallet. Stay informed and ask tough questions about who really pays for trade wars. In a global economy, no one is insulated from these ripple effects. For now, adapting is key, because your grocery bill, car repair, and holiday shopping are all on the front lines of this economic experiment.